All right. Well, welcome to yoga, everyone. We are doing our second chair yoga, as you can see. So make sure that you have a comfortable chair. If your chair is hard, it doesn't have a pad on it, maybe a pillow or a blanket or a folded towel would feel good for most of these poses, just to kind of give you a little bit of padding. You can use pretty much anything. I'm using a footstool. Mine's a little bit slanted, but it's actually kind of nice. It tilts my pelvis the correct direction. So as long as your chair doesn't have wheels, you should be okay. And if you are using a chair with wheels, you don't have any other kind of chair, I recommend using it on carpet so that it's not going to slide around. So we're not going to be standing and moving a whole bunch, so you should be okay. But my recommendation is a solid chair, a stable chair. All right. So go ahead and find your comfortable seat. And then right away, just take a moment to check in with yourself. So close the eyes if that feels comfortable. If it's not comfortable to close the eyes, just focus your gaze softly a few feet out in front of you on the floor. I'm beginning to take a gentle body scan. If you are still feeling a little bit fidgety, that's totally okay. Maybe finding a little bit of movement here, even with the eyes closed, just forgetting about what it looks like and just noticing what it feels like in the body. So listening to your body, maybe taking a couple of shoulder rolls, maybe dropping one ear to one shoulder, and then switching. You can also rock a little bit in your seat, kind of noticing where your weight is placed. So are you leaning pretty far forward on your sit bones? Are you leaning a little bit too far back? Are you sitting to one side or the other? See if you can even it out. So finding a comfortable position right in the center of your sit bones where you're sitting up nice and tall. Finding a gentle tuck of the chin to lengthen the back of the neck. And you're stacking the head over the heart, over the hips. We don't have a super long practice today, so just taking one more moment here to check in with yourself, to notice, are you holding any tension in the face? Can you soften the muscles of the face? Can you allow the shoulders to soften? Can you tag a little bit of weight into each elbow? Can you begin now to deepen your breath if you haven't already? And drawing each breath all the way down into the belly. Feeling each inhale, allow the spine to lengthen a little bit more. And each exhale allows any tension to release, allowing the body to soften. And give it 3 more belly breaths here, and going at your own pace. Maybe setting a little intention or dedication if that feels right for you today. Maybe just focusing on being in the moment, on checking in with yourself, with your breath. And give it one more deep, full belly breath here. And then slowly begin to find some movement in the fingers and toes. And go ahead and open the eyes if they're closed. And from here, we're just going to take some seated cat and cow. So on your inhale, tilt the pelvis a little bit. So you're tipping your tailbone back, you're lifting your chest, and maybe it would feel comfortable to lift the chin just a little bit. Squeeze the shoulder blades behind you. And on your exhale, start to drop the chin to the chest first, and then allow the rest of the spine to start to round. So the shoulders are coming forward. You can a little leverage here to stretch the arms, pulling the belly button back towards your spine, really rounding. And inhale, let this come up from the tailbone. So first starting at the low point of your back, rolling up through the spine. Shoulders are going to draw back and together. Chin might lift. And exhale, rolling down. So we're going nice and slow here. So do a couple more rounds with your own breath, taking this very slow. So the tendency in seated cat and cow, really any cat and cow, is to rush a little bit. See if you can lengthen the breath out. See if you can really slow this down, really concentrating on moving through every part of the spine. Let's do one more round. And the next time that you are in your cat stretch, go ahead and just carefully roll back up a neutral spine. And we're going to take that in a different direction. So now we're going to do a circle, a cat-cow circle. So hands can be really anywhere that's comfortable, even next to you if it's not comfortable for them to be on your lap. And just pick a direction. I'm going around to the right, but you can go either way you'd like. Although I realized I'm going to my right. So on the inhale, you're coming forward, chest is opening, maybe chin is lifting. On the exhale, you're rounding back. So trying to kind of isolate this movement in the upper body. So if your hips are rocking around a bunch, see if you can stabilize that by drawing your belly button towards the spine. Let's do one more in this direction. And then reverse your circle. So circling the opposite way, whichever way you were going. Again, keeping this nice and slow and gentle. Inhaling to press the chest forward, exhaling to round back. And do one more. And then come back to your neutral spine here. And let's go ahead and inhale, reach the arms up overhead, press the palms together and take them down to the heart. 2 more times. Inhale to reach. And exhale, hands down to the heart. Last time. Inhale, reach the arms, spread the fingers. And exhale, hands together at the heart. This time we're going to take our hands up and go ahead and interlace the fingers, press the palms towards the ceiling, and then hug the low ribs in. So if you notice that your chest is starting to stick out, hug the high ribs in as well. And then see if you can soften your shoulders down. So you're reaching through the side body, but notice if you're really squeezing the shoulders up towards your ears, press them down. And then let's take a side bend to the right. So see if you can keep that left sit bone on your chair. Think about rotating the left shoulder back just a little bit. And then come back up to center, reset yourself, and we'll take our side bend to the left. So bending to the left, rotating the chest open, keeping that right sit bone pressing down. And then come back to center. Go ahead and release the arms down. And shake them out if you need to. All right. So now we're going to send the arms behind us and we're going to reach for opposite elbows. So it doesn't matter which way you're clasping. You don't have to clasp the elbows. I can only reach my forearms. So I'm going to turn a little so you can see what I'm doing. Whoops. Hard to turn on an angled chair. So I'm reaching for opposite arms or opposite elbows here, but my hands are not reaching all the way there. We'll switch in a moment. So holding your clasp, go ahead and draw the arms down towards the tailbone just a little bit. Open through the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And breathing here. I can already feel this along the sides of my shoulders, along the pecs. Really nice chest opener. Give it one more breath here. And then slowly release. Let's inhale, lift the arms up, keep the hands far apart as if you're holding a big beach ball up overhead. One more inhale here. And on the exhale, turn the palms to face forward, press the elbows down, squeeze the shoulders together. And inhale to lift. And exhale, press. One more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, squeeze. All right, let's take the opposite clasp now. So arms behind your back, clasping the forearms in the opposite way if you can. It feels a little weird to do it this way for me. And then again, drop the arms a little bit down towards the tailbone, hug the ribs in. So you want your spine to be nice and straight. And then breathe into that opening in the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together a little bit more. Give it one more breath here. And then slowly release. Take a couple of shoulder rolls. And then reverse the direction. All right. So let's inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, we're going to twist to our right. So left hand comes to the right leg. Right hand can come behind on the chair. If you have a back on your chair, you can hold on to the side of it. You can put the arm around it, or you can turn yourself sideways on the chair and try and twist that way. So whatever's most comfortable, everybody's probably got a different chair. Sit up nice and tall here. See if you can drop the shoulders a little bit more. Lift through the spine. Take one more breath. And then slowly unwind, come back to center. Let's inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, we're twisting to the left. So right hand to the left leg, left hand wherever it's comfortable for you. Sit up nice and tall. Press that left shoulder a little bit back. Give it one more breath. And then slowly unwind, come back to center. So let's go ahead and lift the left arm up and then just straighten the right leg. So your foot is pressing out. So you're activating that leg. Hold here for a breath. And then release. Let's switch. Right arm up, left leg straightens. Engage the core. Really feel the quad muscle in your leg engage as well. And then release. 2 more on each side. We'll go a little faster. So switch and lift and release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Last side. Inhale, lift. And exhale, release. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up, and exhale, take a forward fold. So just folding over your legs. Your hands can come to the legs or to your feet or to the floor, whatever's comfortable. Let your head and neck go. Maybe even give the head a little gentle shake, yes and no. Breathing into the back body here. Give it one more breath. And then nice and slow, engage the core. You can use the hands on the legs to walk and press yourself back up, or you can just roll up. All right. So we're going to scoot to the edge of our chair. Depending on what your chair is, this may take you a moment to set up. So scoot towards the edge of your chair, and we're going to widen the legs. So you're going to send that left leg as straight as possible. I'm going to maneuver a little bit here with the toes pointing forward. So the left leg's going over to the left, right knee is bent, and you're walking it over to the right. So we're going to rest our right forearm on the thigh. I don't want to squish my microphone there. And we're going to send the left arm up and over. So this is a side angle variation. So think about drawing that left shoulder back, putting some power through the legs. So press through that left foot. Give it one more breath here. And then slowly come up. We're going to reverse. So take that left hand to the left leg, send the right arm up and over. Really reach through those right fingers, open the chest, one more breath. And then slowly come back up. Let's take the other side. So take a moment to get into the correct position for you. It's a little easier the closer you are to the edge of the chair, gives you a little bit more room to move the hips and the legs around. So straightening that right leg as straight as you can. Toes are going to point forward. Left knee is bent and you're taking it out to the left as much as is comfortable for you. And again, a lot of this depends on what type of chair you have. So we're going to release the left forearm to the thigh, send that right arm up and over. You do not have to turn the head to look up, but you certainly can. You can also look straight ahead or just down, whatever's more comfortable on the neck. Give it one more breath, press into the right side of that right foot. And then we're going to reverse. So slowly come up, slide that right hand down the right leg, wherever it's comfortable. Send the left arm up and over. Give it one more breath. And then slowly come up. Let's take the knees back together, or at least hip distance apart. And we're going to grab one of our blocks. So if you don't have a block, a box, or a cereal box even, a book, a pretty heavy duty book can work. So let's take the block down between our feet. I'll give you a moment to grab anything if you need to. And we're going to take the left hand onto the block. And block can be on any height. I'm actually going to lower mine. So we're going to take our left hand to the block and we're going to send our right fingertips up. So taking a nice twist here. You can also kind of use that left elbow against the left leg to help you twist here. Give it one more breath. And then slowly release. We're going to switch. So right hand comes onto the block now. Inhale, send the left fingertips up. So you're leaning a little bit forward before you twist. Give it one more breath. And slowly release. Slowly come back up. You can set that block aside now. I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the class, but I'll say it now. If you're in a chair and your feet are not flat on the floor for most of this, you can always take a bolster under the feet or blocks, any props that you need, a pillow. I want you to be feeling like you have a stable foundation. All right, so let's take the left hand, the back of the left hand to the low back, and we're going to take that elbow out. So you're going to try and press the elbow down towards your chair a little bit, and it's more down and forward, so not straight down. So you're pressing it kind of towards your left knee, actually. And then go ahead and drop the right ear to the right shoulder. So breathing here. I'm already feeling this quite intensely in the neck. Anyone who works on a computer all day or who does schoolwork or anything like that should be feeling this stretch all along that left side of the neck. Press that elbow forward a little bit more. Press the back of the hand into your low back. You can stay here. If you need a little more, you can float the right hand up and just rest it gently on that left ear. So you're not pulling here. You're just using gravity to help you. Taking some deep, full breaths into the left side of the neck. You can even close your eyes here if that feels good and imagine each inhale creating space. And each exhale releasing tension. Give it one more breath wherever you are. And then if you had that hand up, slowly release it. Bring the head back to center. Go ahead and release the arm. Shake it out a little bit. Maybe take a couple of shoulder rolls if you need to. That can be a pretty intense stretch, but it really loosens up everything along the neck and shoulder. So we'll take the other side. When you're ready, take the back of the right hand to the low back and then press that elbow forward towards your right knee. So you want to make sure the shoulders drop down. You don't want it up here. You won't just want it down and then pressing that elbow forward. And then when you're ready, drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. Usually one side's a little bit tighter than the other. This is my looser side. So it may be the tighter side for you. You may not be able to drop the head as far. Breathing wherever you are. If you're feeling good here, please stay. If you want a little more, you can sweep the left fingertips up to gently rest on the right ear. And again, maybe close the eyes here. Remember to press that right elbow forward towards your knee. Really using the breath here, feeling it move. Breathing into the place where you feel the most sensation. Give it one more deep, full breath. And if you had that left hand up, go ahead and release it. Bring the head slowly back to center and release that hand. Go ahead and shake it out if you need to. Again, take a couple of shoulder rolls if that feels good. All right. So let's go ahead and draw our right knee into our chest. So you can hold under the knee, you can hold around the knee, whatever's more comfortable for you. I think I'm going to hold under. You want to draw the belly button in, so you're helping to stabilize here. This is a great hip stretch. So draw that knee as close to the chest as you can. And then maybe take a couple of ankle circles. Make sure you go in both directions. Take one more breath here. Really squeeze that knee in. And then we're going to take that right foot and we're going to cross it over the left thigh. So we're coming into our seated pigeon. Go ahead and flex that right foot. So maybe this is enough for you. If your knee is up like this, that's okay. That's no problem. Maybe just take your right hand and gently press down. You don't have to really press down. You're just trying to encourage that hip to open. So your hands can stay here. You can stay upright, breathing. Make sure that right foot stays flexed, or you can inhale to lengthen the spine, and exhale, you can start to fold forward. only going as far as is comfortable for you. If you have a lot of flexibility in the hips, you're welcome to always release the hands further down if that's more comfortable. Finding a gentle tuck of the chin. And breathing. Deep, full breaths into the hip. Make sure that right foot is still flexed. Wherever you are, take 2 more deep breaths. Seeing if you can soften the hip on the exhale. And then draw the belly button towards the spine. You can use your hands to help walk yourself back up. Moving nice and slow. And we're gonna uncross that leg. Go ahead and take your feet a little wide and do some windshield wipers. A little trickier here as you tend to slide a little bit forward. I like to use my hands to stabilize myself. All right, come back to center, take the feet hip distance again. We'll take the other side. So draw that left knee into the chest, really hug it in, hug the belly in. Start to take those ankle circles if that feels good for you. Make sure you go in both directions. Take one more breath here, really hug that knee in. And then we're going to come into our seated pigeon. So you can use your hands to help you cross that left ankle over the top of the right thigh, really flexing those left toes. And again, maybe staying upright. Everybody's got a hip that's tighter than the other. This is definitely my tighter side. So maybe gently using the left hand to press down on that left thigh. Maybe just letting gravity do the work for you. If you want to fold, inhale to lift and exhale to start to hinge forward. And again, you're only going as far as feels comfortable for you. Everybody has a different range of motion in their hips, and it changes day to day. So listening to your body here. Finding a gentle tuck of the chin. And breathing into that point of the most sensation, keeping those left toes flexed. And give it 2 more breaths wherever you are. And then nice and slow, you can use your hands to help you draw the belly button in, start to come up. Go ahead and uncross that leg. And we're going to extend our legs straight out in front of us. So maybe give them a little bit of windshield wipers in the toes here. I'm not even sure you can see my toes, but that's okay. My toes are flexed. So you can have a little bit of a bend in the knees. You can have even more of a bend in the knees once we fold if you'd like to. So for a moment, just dig the heels into the floor, point the toes up towards the ceiling, get a nice stretch through both sides of the legs. And then if you want to fold, go ahead and inhale, lift the arms, and exhale, start to release the hands to the legs, and you're only going as far forward as feels good to you. So you can absolutely use a strap here if you want around the feet as a little arm extender. You can just let gravity help you, releasing the head. It's okay if you're rounding the back. You can grab hold of the legs or the feet, anywhere that feels comfortable. Go ahead and keep the feet flexed. You can always bend the knees if you need to more here. Let's give it one more breath. And then slowly draw the belly button in, walk your hands back up the legs, moving nice and slow. And if you have a bolster here, go ahead and grab it. If you don't have a bolster, maybe a couple of pillows or a blanket or a towel, even a couple of blocks, we're going to come into cobbler's pose. I'll give you a moment if you need to grab anything. I think I'm going to use my bolster, but you can absolutely use blocks as well. It's really just for something to rest the feet on. So normally we come into cobbler's pose seated on the floor or laying down. Whatever your feet are on, and again, my feet are pretty narrow, so a block would support them as well. You're going to take the soles of the feet together. You're going to take your knees wide. You're just going to allow the hips to open. Hands can rest wherever they're comfortable. Sitting up nice and tall. You can just stay here, working on letting gravity push those knees open. You can use the hands to gently press into the thighs just a little bit if that feels comfortable for you. If you want to fold, we're not going to go too far forward. I can tell already that my center of gravity is going to want to pull me way too far forward and I'll fall. So if you want to fold, maybe just keep the hands on the legs and tuck the chin, or you can always reach down into the center here if you're feeling like you have a better center of gravity than I do. But we're not folding all the way down to our feet. We're just drawing the belly button in, tucking the chin, getting a nice stretch through the whole back body, through the hips. Taking some deep, deep, full breaths here. And give it 2 more deep, slow breaths wherever you are. And then draw the belly button towards your spine. Use your hands to help you come back up if you were folded. And you're welcome to stay here with the legs. We're just moving into Shavasana now. So you can take the knees back together. If you want a more traditional Shavasana lying down, you're welcome to lie down anywhere that's comfortable for you that you can still hear me. So you can lay on the floor, you can lay on a bed or a couch. You can absolutely I'm going to stay in my chair, so you can do that as well. You can keep your feet up on a prop if you want, or you can move it aside. So just take a moment to set up what you think will be the most supportive and comfortable Shavasana. If you're staying in your chair, maybe keeping the feet about hip distance apart if the feet are just down. You're certainly welcome to keep them in cobbler's pose or anything else that's comfortable. And when you have found your comfortable final pose, whether it's laying down or sitting up, go ahead and allow the eyes to soften or to close. And let's all take a deep, full breath in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Feel the shoulders soften as you exhale. 2 more times. Deep, full breath in. Long sigh out. Last time. Deep, deep, full breath in. And let everything go. Feel free to make any adjustments you need here. We don't normally take Shavasana in a seated position, so if you feel uncomfortable at any time, please go ahead and make yourself more comfortable. Allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm. Allowing the shoulders to slide down the back. If you are seated up in a chair, especially if your chair has no back, you're going to continue to have a little bit of core engagement here just to keep the spine nice and straight. But softening all the other parts of the body that you can't. And tagging some weight into the elbows. Let the arms be nice and heavy and relaxed. See if you can soften the chest and shoulders, feeling the collarbones widen. And softening the muscles of the face, the forehead, the jaw, all around the eyes. Let the legs be nice and heavy and relaxed. No need to hold them quite so rigidly. You can let your knees fall a little bit apart from each other. Softening the legs, the feet. Make sure you're not clenching the toes. And we'll take just a few moments of silence here to absorb our practice, to notice if any thoughts or feelings arise for you, and to let go of anything you're ready to release, anything that's no longer serving you. And begin to bring your attention back to your breath. Maybe taking a couple of deeper breaths, beginning to feel energy move through the body again. And starting to wiggle the fingers and toes, and taking any movements that feel good in the wrists and the ankles. You can always find a forward fold again, taking the forehead towards the knees, or you can take a nice full body stretch by reaching the arms up, reaching the legs out. When you're ready, coming back up to a comfortable seat. If you're not already seated, if you are seated, just making sure you're sitting up nice and tall, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Just noticing how you're feeling, taking a mental inventory, how you're feeling physically, mentally, and emotionally. And doing your best to just be a passive observer. not attaching, not telling yourself any stories. Remembering that there's nothing you should be doing. There's no way you should be looking or acting or feeling. If it's comfortable, taking the hands together at the heart, sealing in your practice today, taking anything that served you off of your chair and into the rest of your day. And thank you so much for letting me guide you. Have a lovely rest of your week. Namaste.